And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Our midweek show, we've got plenty of previews to get to. Statesboro High in action this week as they'll be looking to rebound from 0-3 start as they hit the road for Liberty County and hopefully be able to get some players back. They were missing 22 this past week and they're lost at home to Appling County. As for Southeast Bulloch, they are going to be looking to improve on a 3-1 mark this past Friday. They knocked off Class 6A Grovetown 20-7 at home. This week they'll be hosting Washington Wilkes, another unfamiliar opponent for the Yellow Jackets. Bulloch Academy was scheduled to play this past Friday against John Millage. That game was postponed due to some COVID-related issues for the Gators. We'll try to give you an update on who they'll be playing next and when. They're scheduled for October 16th at home against Memorial. And as for the Portal Panthers, they're coming off a loss 56-0 on the road at Metter. This week they'll be hosting ECI. We'll also have some softball action to get to. All that and more coming up in just a moment. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy.
Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
It's been another wild week for Georgia Southern football and athletics director Jared Benko. Wednesday, the Eagles found out their game for next Wednesday against Appalachian State had to be postponed due to COVID continuing problems with the Mountaineers and moved to December 12th.
We've been in touch. Doug Gillens, he's a great colleague, and he's been in touch all week long, and really going back to the end of last week, that they were having some COVID issues, and it's really persisted. They haven't had a full practice. If you count walkthrough, it was the 25th of September. A full practice was September 24th, and they're still not cleared till next week. And so there really wasn't there wasn't any options for them because they haven't been at practice, and they've obviously been, there's a lot of empathy on I know on my end and your colleagues' ends when you have people that are dealing with a lot of medical issues they're currently dealing with. So we went ahead and had some discussion into last week, wanted to monitor this week, and then had a call with the commissioner yesterday, and all parties agreed just in the essence of wanting to get the game in, and ultimately the safety of the student athletes, particularly at App and also ours, it was paramount. So we moved it to the December 12th. So moved it to the 12th, still have FAU on December 5th, the conference games on the 19th. I'm sure several of y'all are wondering, well, what does that mean in the interim? I have been on the phones today trying to see, what options we have. There's a couple of irons in the fire. It's too early right now to tell you what those are because part of there's some things that have to fall into place. But we're actively trying to see if there's an opportunity to potentially add a game to the schedule. I don't know quite yet, or move one up. So we're just trying to work through that.
Thursday afternoon, Georgia Southern announced they were indeed able to find a game for next week, and they'll be hosting UMass October 17th at 4 o'clock at Paulson Stadium.
Was already looking at some potential matchups and knew Ryan Bamford from my time at Mississippi State. We were actually played UMass in 2016 up at Gillette Stadium. And so I knew him a little bit from that time. And so I just gave him a call, and he was very interested and originally was looking at another opponent on next weekend's date, but was able to move that opponent to later into November. So moved pretty quickly from there, and excited to get another game in Paulson. I think anytime you have a chance to break up a 3-week hiatus per se is good. We could use obviously the extra reps and additional opponent in here instead of practicing each other for 3 more weeks. And also too, I think it's a great chance to get another home game. So anytime you get an extra game in Paulson and power of Paulson with the best fans in the country, you can't turn it down. So overall, very very excited.
Any thought of moving another game up and picking up another team on another date, or was UMass the only option that you guys wanted?
Yeah, I mean, we had looked at initially moving up a game, one in conference, one out of conference. The one in conference didn't work out. One out of conference didn't get a response, and so really UMass became the top option.
Jared, how much conversation do you have with Coach Lunsford when you decide to go get a UMass? Are there lists of schools that you talk to him about? How does that dialogue go?
Yeah, in this instance, Josh, I always talk with Chad anyway. This list wasn't very long because there wasn't a lot of options. But, just for example, I've got to add a Power 5, a P5 game in 25. And so I always want feedback. And Chad knows we're going to work together, but ultimately that's going to be my call on the decision of the game. But, yeah, I mean, it's part of taking advice and feedback from him and our leadership group as well. And so, listen, Josh, I have no ego. I don't care who gets the credit. To me, it's always about what's making the best decision for Georgia Southern and our football program. So I always take counsel with people and try to make sure we have the right team. And Chad, from the get-go, I give him credit. He was all on board with this, excited as much for our fans as the student athletes to have a game here next weekend. And listen, for me, it's hard to think back to Campbell. In fact, I had to look back at the calendar. I feel like it's been 3 months ago since the home opener. So I'm really excited to get our fans back into Paulson.
My Queensboro banker is Cheryl Quick.
Blanchard Equipment Company has 16 locations.
Queensboro has homegrown values just like us.
They get heavily involved in every community.
And that means strong customer service.
They've been around a long time, just like John Deere.
When you run across the bank like that, you stick with them.
I sure would like to own one of these John Deeres.
Well, we can sure make that happen.
Oh, well.
Queensboro is your community bank. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
The folks at the Georgia Southern University store want all Eagle fans to know the Statesboro campus of the University store will be open Saturday, September 12th from 11 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and Saturday, September 19th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Both Paulson Stadium stores will be open for window and counter service with a selection of Georgia Southern apparel from the time the gates open until the end of halftime. Web orders from the full selection of Georgia Southern apparel, hats, gifts, and tailgating items may be ordered for free pickup at Paulson Stadium at the home side store during game day hours. Web orders must be placed by 1 p.m. on Friday for each of the first 2 home games. So don't forget, for all your game day and Georgia Southern needs, shop the University store on the Georgia Southern campus. 180 Fitness prides itself on offering the best facility, classes, programs, and staff in Statesboro. More than just a gym, they're a family. Knowledgeable staff always on site to help you, free group fitness classes, over 45 to choose from, free supervised childcare, work out worry-free while they watch your children. With the new expanded weight floor, cardio equipment, and resistance machines, 180 has everything you need. The only gym in Statesboro with a sauna, the Evolve training system offers both small group and one-on-one training to fit any budget. Located inside 180 is Statesboro's best kept secret, The Zone. The Zone is an inspiring community where you are motivated, supported, and celebrated through a unique fitness experience. With the use of heart rate monitor, you're able to train in your own individualized zone while tracking real-time results. The combination of cardio, endurance, and strength workouts will give you the lasting results you've been looking for. Your first class is free. Your body, your zone, real results. Come see why 180 Fitness has been voted the best of the borough for the last 12 years. Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils have missed quite a few players in their 3 losses, 0-3 on the season so far. Missed 22 of them this past Friday as they were hosting Appleton County and fell hard in that one. This week they're hoping to get some of those players back as they'll be taking on Liberty County.
Last week was definitely a tough one. That was probably the most physical team we've seen in the past couple of years. Finally got our head coach back this week, which is nice. So yesterday at practice there was a different attitude. We came and we came ready to compete yesterday, and hopefully we keep that through this week and through Friday. Like you said, they're always fast. They're always decently big. I expect another good opponent. We don't play any soft teams, so I expect good competition this Friday. As a whole team, when everybody's here, we feel like we're one of the best teams around. And with, my dad, head coach, coming back, it's a great feeling for everybody. We got our leader back, and it's time to go.
We're feeling good. We're feeling more focused. You can really tell the big difference yesterday that we're more focused. I'm really excited to have him back. And I feel like we can move on this year, move on, do good. We really finna try to put some work into him so we can get this win. I feel like we get the win, we'll get a long ways this year. It'll be the turning point. I mean, we need it. We need the yelling back. We need it because guys ain't focused really. It's just like, it's feel good to have them back. Feel good.
Shared with our kids yesterday. It was absolutely the most adversity I've ever faced in my life for a few reasons. Number one, the severity of the illness. Number two, not being able to see your family and your friends and these kids. It was a September 2020 was a very, very challenging month. And by no means out of the woods yet, just trying to progress along and see what I can do. And come back yesterday, seeing the kids was the best medicine I've had in a long time. So opened my eyes to not only the illness but also opened my eyes to the unknown. You can watch mainstream media and listen to it if you want to, but when you get this illness severe, there are no answers. I've had multiple doctors and medical professionals from all over tell me that they know nothing about this virus. It's so new. They're just working on ways to treat it. From a personal standpoint, you look at it from the perspective that I stress about things that aren't worth stressing about. Philosophy on living changes a little bit. So we have guys working both ways. But when you have two position groups that are almost entirely wiped out, and it involves the crossover guys that were playing both ways, and it had the finding out about it, the diagnosis, who it affects, happens so fast that you don't have a lot of reactionary time to prepare for Friday. We have pushed through missing 15 guys in game 2, 22 guys last Friday. What I can't figure out is how the teams we're playing are missing nobody. So that's above my pay grade. But it is what it is. We just have to monitor if it gets to a point where it's dangerous for kids to play. If we're being forced to play a player that can't protect himself, then we have no choice. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. Hope we don't, and just we say this all the time, and it sounds like cliche-ish, but we worry about what we can control, and then that we sure definitely can't control.
Got Liberty County coming up this week on the road at their place. They shut things down for quite a while, but they're back. Your thoughts on Friday's game? What do you expect?
Typical Liberty County football team, extremely athletic, extremely fast. Based on the film we've got, we really couldn't gauge their size from the film quality. But they'll be a typical Liberty County team that's very good and very well coached every year. We're going, as long as the numbers manage and it's safe for us to play, we're going to keep pushing forward.
That game taking place at 7:30 in Hinesville. Stay with us. Coming up next, we'll preview Southeast Bulloch. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Our Southeast Bulloch segment is brought to you by Scott's Floor Covering, passionate to floor you for all your installation needs with over 30 years of experience. Please call Joel Scott at 912-536-2107 or email scottsfloorcovering@yahoo.com for a free quote today. This segment is brought to you in part thanks to After Hours Glass Service, LLC, where they truly believe that if you don't take care of a customer, somebody else will. Wishing much success for the Yellow Jackets 2020 season. Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets 3-1 on the season, coming off an impressive victory this past week against Grovetown. This Friday, they're going to be taking on another team that they haven't played, and that's Washington Wilkes, coming up at home at Fred Shaver Field Friday night. We had a chance to talk with head coach Barrett Davis about the matchup.
I mean, it was good playing a good caliber team like Grovetown, and me and their head coach are old friends just from having Augusta ties together when I used to be up that way. And they played a good hard game. They've got some good defensive players, and I thought our kids played hard. It was senior night, so maybe that amped it up even a little more. But our kids played hard, and I thought we played very good on defense and offense, and we were physical when we needed to be, and we were able to finesse some stuff on offense when we needed to be at times. So we had a good mix going offensively, I thought. We had 6 or 7 different guys that were able to carry the football or spread the ball around, so teams can't just kind of zone in on 1 or 2 folks. So we were very proud of what offense was able to accomplish. Offensive line had a great night, and defensively, their offensive game plan at Grovetown was very simple. We just had to be able to stop them, and except for one play, we did that. Our guys we were able to get, I think we got them to punt 6 or 7 different times, so we were able to, get some 3 and outs. We even had a few mistakes on throughout the night that sustained drives for them or kept them going. But our guys played hard. They tackled well, I thought. We had one big play. I think they finished with 140 yards or 50 yards of offense, and they got 73 of it on one play. They just kind of broke free. We missed 4 missed tackles. So besides that one play, we played very well, I thought. We've been able to rotate a couple wide receivers into the backfield. We put Tyler back there a little more, Tyler Griffin. And rotated a couple of young backs in as well that have a lot of potential. Then defensively, we moved around. We moved one of our linebackers down to the defensive line, and we moved one of our other linebackers out to an outside linebacker, which we call a pony. So we did that, and we're trying to rotate some different guys in and find the right mix still. But I think we found a pretty good mix for what we're doing now. Just trying to get the fastest kids that we can on the field that can remember what to do and play fast and physical. So I thought we found that more Friday night.
You got Washington Wilkes coming up, another team that you guys aren't too familiar with. What do you expect? What do you think about Friday?
It was kind of one of those games. I'm familiar with their program a little bit because they're right outside Augusta, on the other side of Clarksville Lake. So they're going to be very similar to us. They're just a small town community. They've got very hard-nosed kids. They've got kids who play. They've got a lot of good skill kids. They've got about 6 or 7 skill kids that are tall and fast and can move very well. So we're going to have our work cut out for us Friday. I think they're a very good team. They've They're 3-0. They've scored 35, 42, and 50 points on offense each game, and all three of them have been blowouts. So we've got to be able to line up and compete for 4 quarters Friday night.
It was a good game. I feel like we came out more fast and physical, and we was more prepared to play since we couldn't play last week, and when we lost to Telfair week before that. I feel like it was just mentality. We just came together and we all thought about what we wanted to do, and we succeeded. It was very good. Linebackers had more speed. I feel like defensive backs we was good in coverage, and D-line was more aggressive and fast.
I feel like both sides of the ball stepped up. Offense stepped up tremendously. Did better than last game. Defense held on all to a shutout, so I feel like we came together and played a great game.
For you, are you getting more comfortable? I know you played last year kind of back and forth, and then, are you feeling like a little bit more comfortable back there at quarterback?
Yeah, I feel very confident because of last year when I played quarterback. Now it's just another game to me. I feel like I played varsity enough, so I just know the game.
Got Washington Wilkes coming up Friday. What do you expect out of them?
They're a hard-nosed football team. They play together. They play hard. But I feel like I trust my guys over their guys, so I feel like we have a great chance.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more. We have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
Ready for fall? Us too at RJ Pope. Get ready to cheer on your favorite team in a new performance polo from Peter Millar, Southern Tide and AFCO. Ladies, we have the best brands and trending fashions. Complete your look with one of our best-selling shoe brands, Soft, On Cloud, and Free People. Shop these brands and so much more at one of our 3 locations, RJ Pope Buckhead, Downtown, and Vidalia.
We've been very fortunate that for the most part of the season, we've had very few instances concerning the COVID, very few positive cases, but we've had a number of players who have been exposed to others who have, and so we have worked through that and done so diligently. Unfortunately, we've had a little rash of occurrences here in the last week and a half that has hampered our progress. We had to cancel our game with John Millage, and in the process, we really kind of took a down week from last week and not practicing. And, obviously, Josh, it's a case in which not just Bulloch Academy, but other schools in our county and our state and all across this country has, from the pros on down to high school, are having to deal with. The frustrating thing is just the unknown amid the fear that goes along with it. But in the end, we're still taking the precautionary measures that we need to take. We still do our questions, COVID questions, our temperature checks each and every day. Been doing that since June. So we've been diligent in our efforts. Unfortunately, sometimes things just happen, whether it be at school, at practice, in the weight room, in the locker room, or outside of the school. But we're making the best of the situation as is. And like other things, athletics teach you how to persevere in some adverse situations. And we, like a lot of other people, are going through some tough times. Well, this is really a good week for us to have an open week. And being that last week we really didn't practice, we did a lot of conditioning. This week here we'll kind of go back to the drawing board and get back to the basics. Fundamentals is something that you don't put in the closet. And being that we were out last week, it's a good opportunity to come back and revisit our fundamentals to make sure that our steps are right, our hands are right, our tackling is improved, our blocking is improved, ball security, and the list goes on and on and on. So we're going to definitely focus on our fundamentals. It's a great opportunity. We began here 2 weeks ago implementing some new things and simplifying our offense as well as our defense. So we get to go back and revisit those things there and refresh ourselves with what we were teaching at that time so that we can move forward. And so if as long as we can do that, stay on a progressive step and move forward, this would be a very productive week. And then toward the end, then we may look at a few things as far as preparation for Memorial, which will be the next week.
And that's going to wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.